What's going on, guys? We are here. We are going to build a bioactive enclosure for my old girl Suka, who is a leopard gecko. Now, I shot this intro after I started building. I wanted to give a better intro and a backstory on Suka before we get into the build. And also, disclosure, this is my first video I'm doing of a build. I will promise that they will get better as we continue to build some enclosures. But Suka was given to me by a friend who had rescued her from another family who had her, I want to say, probably for 8 years in a 10-gallon tank with nothing. So he took her for the next, I think, two or 3 years, upgraded her enclosure, but wasn't home enough to really he just wasn't home enough and didn't feel like that was right for her. So he texted me and was just like, hey, you want to take Suka? You have a bunch of other geckos and stuff. And I just feel like since I'm not home enough, she would be happier in your hands. And I was like, absolutely. Previous to him, though, she had some bad sheds and she does have nubs for a lot of her toes. I think she has like maybe one claw or two on some other feet. So this build, I'm trying to build for her and kind of make it easier for her to climb because she can't really hold on to things. And I would love to, build things upper deck, do like a 2-tier type thing, but I don't want to risk her falling and hurting herself. And, leopard geckos are indestructible, but you just want to be precautious. So that's a little backstory with her. This is going to be her first time ever in a enclosure like this. First time feeling actual substrate. And I just really hope she enjoys it. And I hope you guys enjoy the build video and get some laughs because I am working in a very tiny space. Don't mind the background. I live in a small apartment and I have very little space to do anything. So I just make do with what I got. But yes, I'm going to be using pre-made panels, and what I'm going to do though is I'm still going to customize them. I mean, you could just use the panels like this and just run with it, which will look perfectly fine, but I like to just make things my own a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some eco earth and, put some eco earth around here to make it look like there's, dirt, and then possibly some sheet moss here and there just to make it look like there's growth coming out of the cracks. Now, these were already pre-cut. Just cut them with a knife. I had to trim them down because they didn't really fit into the tank fully. So I'm going to put them in the tank now with some silicone on the back, and let's fit them in. So I think this one would go in here. And again, I already trimmed them. All right, see, it's a nice snug fit. Make sure it's in there. So I'm just gonna test it out right now to see how it will fit. Now, oh, I didn't even notice that. I did not notice that. Okay, that's no biggie. What I might have to do then here, because it doesn't really line up, if you can see, is I might just have to take a knife and kind of just carve this side down. And then what I can do is maybe I'll pick up one can of pond and stone and kind of just fill in this crack and kind of carve it into one. Or what I probably could do is I can just carve it down, put some silicone on it, throw some eco earth, cover it up that way, but I don't know if that'll look that good, so I didn't even notice that. So get the third piece in here, and then, oh, it's very tight here, huh? Oh no, it'll go right. Is it gonna bend it? Oh. Okay. Oh no, that works. Okay. Maybe not. I might have to trim it a little bit more, and I think I gotta trim it right here. All right, that actually worked. Did a little trim in there. There was like a little bump right here on this side that was like bowing it a little bit, but so now when I put the silicone on, it should lay flat to the back of it. And again, I'm just gonna carve this out, which will probably be a tomorrow thing, because what I'm gonna do now is silicone the back and then lay them out, let them dry overnight, come back tomorrow, carve this out. All right, so we're just gonna apply some silicone on the back of here. You need to be a little generous. It's just to get it to stick on the back. And then we're gonna do this. Go up the sides here. I really want this to stick and don't want it to fall. I'm just gonna do some lines here. You can go a little overboard. Let's flip that over. And I gotta remember which side it actually was supposed to go on though now. All right, this side. So let's put it in and push it down. All right, let's move on to the next panels. Put that up there, flip that around, and repeat. As you can see, I have already kind of carved out this area right here and right here just to make it look less, you know, I don't know, abrupt. Like it's just, there was just a straight line going upward. So this time I kind of curved it out a little bit and I stuck the extra pieces kind of like right here, and I already siliconed those down just to rough up the edges a little bit. So what we're gonna do now, and this is my plan. So I've never worked upside down before, but I don't need to work upside down for just doing the cocoa fiber. And usually with the cocoa fiber, which I'm going to be using this right here, usually if you're going to do it for like a crested gecko or a lychee or whatever, you would want to put like other things in, because if you just throw the cocoa fiber on the background, your geckos actually won't be able to stick to the background. So you're going to need to put like, what I like to do is like put like orchid bark, kind of like place it around different locations. But since this is for a leopard gecko, she's never gonna be climbing vertically on these, so I can just put this down and be perfectly fine. Let's start with the silicone here. Hopefully this camera angle is good. Listen, like I said, working with a very small space, so don't really have a ton to work with, but let's just glob that on there like that. And usually you'd want to use some gloves because this stuff gets messy, but of course I don't, because I am me. But let's get now the cocoa fiber, and we're just gonna spread that. Be generous with it, because you're just gonna tilt up the enclosure anyway when you're done. Down here. And what I'm trying to replicate is kind of dirt and some slight greenery coming through a rock wall. Now, if you can already see, it's kind of like, you can kind of see what I'm trying to get at here with putting the cocoa fiber on the rock wall. So even with these two lines here, you can kind of maybe see my vision a little bit. We're gonna see a little bit more tomorrow when we tip over the enclosure and we see how it actually settled in everywhere. And I'm gonna do a couple more places like this. Like I'm probably gonna do like a little patch here, some more little patches. I'm just gonna do like little patches around, and we'll just speed through that process. For the time being, we're gonna let this sit overnight and see what it looks like tomorrow. Woohoo! It is the next day. This is gonna actually be probably like a multiple, like probably a week long, but we are gonna flip the tank downwards now. And hopefully what I did came out pretty good here, because I am kind of winging it. And let's see here, hopefully the doors, I'm trying to open everything so everyone can see. All right, just gotta brush some of it off here. Like this. Now that like really stuck on there, huh? But honestly, it looks pretty good. That looks on. You know what? That looks pretty good to me. It just kind of broke up the background a little bit, just so it wasn't like all gray and I guess grayscale. But I'm gonna try to figure out some pieces of moss now to see if I actually like it, because if not, then I might not even use it, and I might just keep it like this. So let's see. After I was kind of like, I tried to put like strands of this in because I wanted to make it look like there was like kind of like roots and stuff, coming out of the wall, but honestly, I already have some pieces here. I don't know if I like it or not. So what I think I might do is I might put in the substrate first and kind of start building it out, because this, again, is gonna go like, kind of like right here, raised up by the dirt. So I'm gonna put the substrate in. I'm gonna start kind of like building out a layout and then seeing what the background needs, honestly. Because I don't know if I honestly like how this looks. And maybe I'll just get other plants. I have some plants coming in still for the enclosure, so maybe we'll do something else, but let's get the substrate in. Just to show you guys the space I'm working with, this is it. I have like this 1 foot space where I have to sit right here to do the enclosure. Everyone's, oh, this isn't professional, blah, blah, blah. I'm real here, all right? So I think it's just funny, honestly. So let's continue. Let's see if we can make this work here. As you just saw, the space I'm working with, so you know what I'm going through. But we're gonna add in the substrate now, which I made myself with just organic topsoil, play sand, and then I'm gonna add in some excavator clay. So you can get the stuff like at Lowe's or Home Depot, a lot cheaper. And I'm just gonna pour it in. You do not, I see a lot of people, they put in like a drainage layer. You don't need to put a drainage layer in because it is an arid, so the soil is not gonna be sopping wet, so you really don't need that layer there. So you can just put in the substrate. Now I'm gonna put a lot of dirt in here just because leopard geckos do like to burrow. So I want enough space for her to burrow. If she will even burrow, I have no idea, because she's never seen actual substrate in her life. So we're gonna need a lot more dirt. Let's keep going. Actually, I decided we're gonna put in some excavator clay before we put in the rest of the soil. And that is dusty, so maybe don't pour it out like that. All right, let's continue with the dirt, and then we'll mix it all up when it's all said and done here. Now, usually what I like to do is use like kind of like a half bag of excavator clay to like a 40-pound bag of dirt, and then you use a gallon of sand in that 40-pound bag of topsoil. And pretty much that excavator clay is going to be really nice to have, because when she does burrow, the burrow will actually keep its shape and not collapse on her. It's always nice to mix that in there. All right, now I'm gonna start kind of like hardscaping it just a little bit, just to see what I'm gonna be working with here. So we're gonna start with this like cool like little tree trunk thing that I got. We're gonna put that in, see how this sits around, because the cold side is going to be on this side of the tank, and then the hot side is gonna be on the left side. I had this cork tube, and she does enjoy tunnels, and I was thinking about honestly putting this back here in a way, kind of like that possibly, and then she can go in and climb. And what I'll do is, there's like a spot on this side of the tank that there's like a little sharp edge. I really could actually just cut that piece of cork out, or actually might be able to just rip it up. Yep, I can just rip it out. There we go. So it gives like an additional hide over there, and I'm trying to go all natural hides with this. I don't want to put anything artificial in here. So I have, oh yeah, this guy right here that I wanted to put in, kind of like this. So you can kind of see what I'm going for here. Got this really cool piece of dragon stone, and that could potentially go there. Maybe turn that in like that kind of scenario. That can kind of sit like that, and then we could put another hide kind of over here, or maybe raise this a little bit. Actually, I don't know. Let's mess around with some things. Okay, I've added 2 plants that I've gotten so far. I'm still waiting on the other ones, but we have a nice little plant here, and then this thing is for, I don't know the name of this, but I kind of want more, because it's a succulent, but it's more of like a grass type, and it'll just overgrow like all of this and start like swooping down. I also added this piece of wood here where there's a tunnel in here, so It'll be more of like a little like, I don't know. It's just really freaking cool how this is turning out here. Again, I went at this with, I didn't have an exact plan. And this is just how my brain works when I'm building things. Like, I can't envision it. Once I start going at it though, I'm like, yep, this is how it's gonna be. And this is what we have so far. So again, you know, we have a huge tunnel here, a nice little hill. I also added dirt up behind this cork around here. So when, you know, if she wants, she can actually climb up, get some elevation. There'll be more dirt around there to get around into the hole that's over here. And if she wants to come out here as well. For the most part, that is what I have so far. Not too bad. Honestly, I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. And I hope this plant starts growing through the tree and starts to really like take over this whole right side. I really hope she enjoys this. It's been about 3 weeks since that last clip. We ran into some issues. We were waiting for the isopods, and we had a lot of complications with the isopods. The first shipment was lost. Those poor little things are in a box somewhere in a warehouse. Second shipment came dead, completely dead. I opened the box and there was a heat pack underneath all of the isopods and cooked them all, pretty much. They're all on the bottom cooked. Finally, ordered a third shipment, and we have 100 powdered orange isopods, and they all look to be running around, alive. I don't know if there are 100, but there's a lot running around, so we are gonna see. We're gonna finally put in some isopods in the leaf litter, and we're gonna get Suka in the enclosure. In those 3 weeks, I have added some new plants. As you can see, we have trailing plants here. We replaced some other plants. We also added another hide, and I said I wasn't going to do any artificial hides, but this looks like an actual rock. And now it is a very deep, big burrow. And I also didn't mention that there is a hide down there as well. And there's like one over here. But we added in some plants. We took out some other plants just because I thought it would just look a lot better. And yeah, we added in a little water dish. And I'm using a terracotta dish here with a bunch of sphagnum moss in there. So when I put in the springtails and isopods, they got a area where it's constantly moist for them. So the terracotta will, you know, the water will wick through the terracotta and keep this area down here in the dirt kind of moist for them. Now for this, I put in some oak leaves here in water because I wanted them to soak a little bit. So when I put the isopods in, they can like go to like a refuge area. And I also put these in places where I have sphagnum moss in the dirt. So it kind of like gets them to the area so they have an area to go and hide and kind of establish like right away. So we're just gonna put this right in. With the leaf litter down, let's put in our orange powder isopods into their new home. I almost forgot about the springtails. So let's get them in. I'm gonna pour them right in the same spot. Oh, let's not cover the light. There we go. Look at them go. And now there's just one last thing missing for this enclosure. And that's Suka herself. Let's go get her. All right, here is the girl of the hour. Look at her looking into her, look, she's already looking. She's like, oh, whoa, could I go in there? This is Suka. Little introduction here. If you see on her back leg, she got little nubbies here and there. I mean, she's got claws in her front, but she wants to go in here so bad. All right. We gotta say hi? Little old girl? All right. Let's do the moment of truth. Go ahead. Go explore. I'm gonna let her go in her own time. Go ahead. Oh, this is like the happiest moment ever. Oh, she went right into that big tunnel. We're gonna have to get some other clips of her exploring here in a second because I am so happy right now. So I think it's safe to say that Suka really enjoys her bioactive equipment. She's actually exploring the tube right now, which is kind of funny. She has explored every inch of this enclosure within maybe a 20-minute span. She was a little freaked out at first, but after that, she just started going berserk and finding all the little secret hideouts that I made for her. And this has truly made me extremely happy. Like, the best part about these bioactive enclosures is introducing your reptile to the enclosure and just watching them just, obviously you can't see excitement, but you can tell they're like, oh my god, what is this? This is new. And they start going berserk and, you know, finding all the hides and licking everything, and she's gonna really enjoy it. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Smash that like button, comment how you like the enclosure or what you would change, or you know, any other tips that maybe you guys have that I could have done. I know the back wall wasn't the best idea for me. I just wanted to try something different instead of doing the spray foam. But anyway, guys, I'm out. Hope you enjoy that. I'm gonna go watch Suka now, go explore these caves, and until next video, bye.